Hey everybody, Christopher here, and welcome to Fossil Forward Finds. I just recorded my first What Sold video, so we'll see what you think about that. It might be a little bit rambly. Um, I somehow managed to make it both too long and too rushed at the same time. It's a talent that you'll learn to appreciate at some point, I'm sure. But let me know what you think about it. Any ideas you have for how to improve it? I am open to constructive criticism at this point because I'm figuring this out as I go. So enjoy. Thank you. Alrighty, so we're gonna just dive right into this What Sold video. This is obviously first time I am doing this. I've never done a screen capture, self-record, all that nonsense before either. So we'll just see how this goes and we'll adjust in the future. But this will be a What Sold for March 2nd through March 8th. So this past week, I sold 37 items for a total of $357.68, which comes out to be about $9.67 per item. Um, Again, I sell primarily ephemera, postcards specifically. So I'm not necessarily making 20, 30, 40, $50 per item. I sell a lot of the more basic items. But this is kind of an interesting week. I do get to highlight some different kind of items that I don't always sell. So let's dive into it. This first one here is a Pog. I don't know how many of you remember Pogs. They were big in the '90s, which is where I had my childhood. Ridiculous game. I don't know if anyone actually played it. I think people just liked collecting the Pogs. But starting some point last year, I decided, yeah, let's see if I can sell them. See if I can sell them individually, like I do postcards and photographs, etc. And I've had some pretty decent success so far. So this one I started up on auction for Yuba City Fire Department, which in hindsight I probably should have looked up where Yuba City was. But in any case, it sold for one bid, $9.99. I send these eBay standard envelope, so free shipping, but it's not that expensive. Alrighty here, beluga whale postcard. Got this from DaveFBrother on Whatnot. Got a lot of my cards from him over the past year or two. So $6.49. Not much to say about it. Let's see, it's a SeaWorld card. So, Pokemon card. Pidgeot. I don't do a lot of Pokemon cards. I just haven't really come across them, but I've done some in the past, and most of what I have left at this point are lower value cards. Um, but it sold for $6.99. I think I got this out of a Pokemon pack that I bought at the grocery store just for giggles. So I mean, this probably paid for the whole pack by itself. But let's see. So this was fun. This was a few days after Groundhog Day, but I sold three of these groundhogs. I can never pronounce them correctly. Puxatani Phil. This one in the snow went for $5.99. This one went for $4.99, which this is my old base price for postcards. I now start them all at $5.49, just because shipping has gone up since I started listing postcards. And then we got the third one here again for $4.99. These all are going to one buyer. One thing I like to do when I list animal postcards is I do put up the scientific name. I doubt it actually helps anything. Maybe it helps on Google. I don't know. But as a scientist, I can't help myself. So as long as I have the space for it, I'll put that in there. If I don't have the space for it, it's the first thing to go because, again, I don't think it's helping me in the keyword search. More animals. As you can tell, I sell a lot of animals. They're one of my favorite things to list, so it's not surprising that I sell more of them. And I find that I can get them pretty reasonably priced because a lot of people don't want to deal with them because they can sit for a while. But this is a turtle, North Shore Animal League. I have a lot of dog and cat postcards from them, and they really don't sell fast or for much. It's like a very thin paper stock. I think they may have given them away for free. I'm not sure. Um, but in any case, there's a lot of them out there. So I wouldn't, if I saw them, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on them, but I still list them. They still move eventually. Alrighty. NASCAR. NASCAR sells. Well, motorsports in general sell pretty well for me as far as postcards are concerned. This one I listed recently. Yeah, January 20. Nope. Yeah, January 24th. So not that long ago. At some point, I'm going to do a video on how I sort and list my cards. Basically, I have little bins where I put into categories I'm working on. So recently, I pulled every Delaware postcard that I had, and this was one of them in there. So $6.99. Yeah. I have a whole bunch of these. As you can see, I still got 63 more of these available. So if you're interested in Conan the Barbarian, by all means, sold for $10. Even though I have so many, I've actually sold 2 of them so far. So I also have them listed on my district page. They might be slightly cheaper there. I sometimes list my items on district a little cheaper to try to get people to my marketplace, but yeah, so just a little advertising postcards. Another one of those things that a lot of people ignore, but I like the advertising postcards, and especially when you get pop culture references. Okay, so this was fun. I picked this up as part of a lot on Facebook Marketplace, and I think I paid $35 for, or no, well, let's say $30 for what was advertised as a couple hundred cards, which ended up being more like 600-700 cards. Um, and this was one that was in there, and I was very confused when I first looked at it, and sure enough, it's a misprint. I've never been to Miami Beach, but as I understand, it doesn't look like the Colorado Rockies. So I listed this high. I started it at 20 on auction. It didn't sell on auction, so I relisted it fixed price, and it eventually sold. Yeah, I listed it in July, so it took a few months, but I will happily take a $20 misprinted card. All right, this one, this one gave me anxiety. I don't do breakables, or I should say, I very rarely do breakables. I picked these up at Goodwill, my local Goodwill, for $6 for the pair. Comes with little spoons, a creamer and sugar set. But I figured with St. Patrick's Day coming up, it might be a nice piece to try. And yeah, it sold within a couple weeks. Um, I don't have a lot of standard size boxing because all my postcards go in envelopes. So this definitely got shipped in a much larger box than was necessary. But everything was double boxed. As far as I know, it should have arrived by now. I'll have to double check that, but hopefully it arrived safely and that the buyer is not too irritated with the excessive packaging. But $30, I thought was a pretty good sale. Actually, I think I took an offer on that. I think that actually sold for 25. Alrighty. Yellow Brick Road. Anything, although this is not specifically Wizard of Oz, but anything that's Wizard of Oz or Wizard of Oz adjacent tends to do pretty well. So $10 on this card. All right, Nintendo, again, anything pulp culture. So $7.99 on this one. Another advertising cards. These would have been free at one point on a rack. Now they sell for $8. This was another good one. I don't remember the story behind this. I don't know where I got it or why I priced it for 20, but clearly I looked up comps and thought it was pretty good. The card's in rough shape, a lot of staining, creasing, and so forth, but it still sold for 20. Let's see, April 20th is when I listed it, so about a year. Another Pog. This one I listed I think like a couple days before Halloween, so it was too late to really hit the Halloween rush. But that's what I had in my brain when I listed it. So $7.99 on that. Yeah, in kind of a rough shape for a Pog, but I mean, the whole point of this game was to slam these Pogs with metal Pogs, so it's not surprising that they look a little rough around the edges. Alrighty. Let's see. Algonquin, Maine. Just a typical ship scene. Maine doesn't move fast for me. Really, not much in New England moves fast for me, but I still list them anyways. I'm not particularly snobby at this point in what I list as far as price value. Um, I don't list damage cards as much as I used to because now I have plenty of inventory that I can be more choosy. This was fun. This was a lenticular postcard. I always charge a little bit extra for my lenticulars, so they're those 3D ones. Sometimes I'll add a video, I did in this case, but if you move it back and forth, like the image looks like it's 3D, or sometimes the image might even change. So we got some ducks in flight. Nice autumn scene going on here. Alrighty, so this is a swap card. Swap card basically just being a playing card or a trade card. I got a whole bunch of these on Whatnot I think it was last year. Um, the auction account, I think his name is 342, all spelled out. And I got a whole bunch of these. Most of them have been selling between 5 and 6, but I enjoy them. They don't move fast, but especially the ones with the advertising, in this case, Girl Scouts, they do eventually move. And again, these also go eBay standard envelope, like the postcards and the Pogs. Another advertising postcard. Got a whole bunch more of these as well. I think I also listed this around Halloween, just kind of having candy in the brain. So, but these do sit for a while. More animals. We got the Columbus Zoo, $5.99. So part of the reason why I brought this card up is so the way I list my cards is I have a SKU system, much like Mark over at SMPostcards, where I never repeat a number. So the very first postcard I listed got number 1, and I'll never use number 1 again. Well, in this case, this was number 64, and I listed it in 2022, so it has clearly sat a while. But there are a lot of cards like this out there, so in hindsight, not surprising. This one was posted. All right. Hawaii, just a typical Hawaii map card. I like picking up the map cards. They seem to do decent. They don't necessarily move super quick or for a lot, but they do move for me. Alrighty. Another linen postcard, Coyote Out in the Desert. Again, I got my scientific name there. A little foxing on the back, but okay condition considering. All right, Boy Scouts. Always pick up Boy Scout items when I can find them. Norman Rockwell I do okay with, but he doesn't really seem to move too quickly. There's a lot of them out there. But when he crosses over with Boy Scouts, or I actually have some where Garfield has been added to the scenes, those move a little bit better. So $5.99 on this one. All right, Miss Piggy. I've sold 2 of these. Actually, I think both of these sold to the same buyer on this order for $4.99 each. Advertising Lay's potato chips, so you're kind of crossing all sorts of different interests there. Another one of those free max cards, so yeah, I'll sell that all day. These postcards. Some of you already know these stories, but so I'm a bourbon drinker. I enjoy my whiskeys. So when I came across a whole bunch of these Jim Beam decanter postcards, I thought they were pretty cool. This one may not actually strictly be a postcard, but most of what I have are. And, I listed them at varying prices, some at 5, some at 15. It all depended on which decanter it was, because some were more scarce in postcard form than others. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had people buy these and cancel, or buy them and return them because they thought they were getting the actual decanter. So, like in this case, $10, but I've had some that were $5 free shipping, and they thought I was shipping an actual decanter to them for free. Anywho, all that aside, postcard is the very first word. So this one may come back. I don't know. I usually try to message them ahead of time to make sure they realize that they're getting a postcard and not the actual decanter, but I don't always have the time to do that. So we shall see. I don't know what else to do other than like write postcard in the picture and hope that sells it too, or that they see that. Anyways, this was fun. I picked this up from CoolandCommons on Whatnot just a couple weeks ago. Paid $4.93 for it. Yeah, and it sold for I think it actually sold for $19.99. It's going to be something I have to do in the future is figure out how to get the actual sold price on here, not just what I asked for it. But in any case, I think it sold for about $20, so it was only up for a week or two. So this is the instruction book for some video game system I have never heard of before. But the system itself seemed to go fairly well, so I figured I'd, ask the 25 and get the 20. Another advertising postcard. This is for some music, I guess. Got a few more of those available. Mighty Blue Kings. All right, postcard number 526. So this is another one that I had listed for quite a while, December of 2022. I usually do fairly well with skiing postcards. As far as I know, every skiing postcard I own is currently listed. I usually try to prioritize those when I get them. This one obviously did take a while, but it sold for $5.99. So no arguments here. And then, of course, I'm going to totally forget her name, but the actress who played Dawn Summers in Buffy just passed away. I believe it was last week. And I knew I had a whole stack of these Buffy the Vampire Slayer trade cards that I hadn't listed yet, so I listed them that day, and it took a few days, but I sold this one and another one that I'll show you in a minute to the same buyer. And it cost me about 2 cents each when you broke down the per cost item. So yeah, this is the second one. First day cover. I don't sell too many of these. Most of what I have are ones that you kind of could mail away for, and they were very much commercialized as a collector's item. So there's a lot of them out there. But this one sold for $4.99. Alright, American Girl doll. These I actually got from a postcard book, and I just separated the book into individual postcards, and they actually seem to sell better than the book itself as a whole. I think in part is because I can use some more keywords, as opposed to if you use the book, then you're kind of just stuck with generalizing the whole thing at once. So $6.49. I have a whole bunch from this set. So I paid about 40 cents per card on those. All right, and then we can sort of finish up here with another POG, Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been selling a lot of the NFL ones, even though football season's over. So I will continue to look for those and put them up as I find them. I did have 3 other postcards that I sold. I'm not going to show them. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with them, but I don't want to. I don't know who's watching, if there's kids watching or whatever, but I did sell 3 male model postcards, and those are some of my fastest and better selling cards when I have them. I think all 3 of them sold between $11 and $15 each, all to the same buyer. Various swimsuit poses and so forth. So get a little creative with the language, add gay interest to the title, and those will move. Alrighty, so that's everything I sold in the past week. I'm obviously realizing now that I will have to pare down what I show you. Otherwise, these videos are going to take forever. And I have to do better at knowing what actually the sold prices were, not just what I was asking for. So, anywho, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions on how you would like to see these videos or other type of videos you'd like to see, please let me know. Catch you later.